Hello and welcome back. And in this video, we're going to be looking at shapes. Okay, so we're going to be creating some basic shapes into SwiftUI and going to see how it can make our views look very different from its native representation or native presence. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. I have this basic, back to the basic text hello world created. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to basically, first of all, change the font for this thing and make it large. Title. Let's add some padding. And there is one more, rather than using default padding, if you need a choice to basically set padding for any of the directions. For example, you want to set it for all sides, which is default. You just want to set it for bottom. You want to set it for leading and basically top, trailing, anything like that. You can actually do that. All right. I'm gonna stick to default because I want to actually set the padding all around. Now let's go ahead and give this a foreground color to be white. So you're gonna stop seeing the text for a moment, but it'll come back. Trust me. Let's add some frame. And we want to give it max width. And max width, we can choose infinity. So we can create a band going across. And then you can add a background color dot blue. There you go. Okay, as you can see, your text is back. Now I'm going to put a spacer just to fill the rest of the space. And as you can see, there's no rest of the space because we forgot to put this inside a container. So let me do that, and there we go. As you can see, it's actually moved at the top, and spacer is taking all this other space. Well, that's actually good. That's what we need. Okay, so now let's go ahead and start looking into how we can have some shapes added. Okay, so I'm going to create another text. And you're gonna call this one maybe a rectangle. So rectangle, right? And we are going to give it some of the some properties, right? So gonna give it a font, large title, and before we actually add whole bunch of things. Let me add a background. Okay, and we're gonna create a shape here and rectangle. Okay, now your rectangle, we can, as you can see, as soon as you put a rectangle in place, your entire text is hidden because it's added as a layer. Now the thing is, your font is also black, so that's why you can't see it. So let me add a foreground color, and you can see your rectangle is back. Now let's give it a padding so we have some breathing room between the rectangle and the text. Okay, now as you notice, we are, instead of using just a color for the background, we are actually creating another shape layer, and we are using that. Now if you want to modify some of the other properties for rectangle, you can provide a foreground color. And foreground color, you can just say, I want a blue color. Okay, there we go. So you have your blue color for your rectangle, and you can have some extra padding around it. So let's see what happens if you add a padding right here. So as you can see, it's actually creating a padding between these two objects. So that's not we want. This is what we want actually. We want a padding between these two elements. So that's what it's actually creating. So there we go. Okay. So that's how you can create shapes. So that's actually one example. Now, if you want, you can create a rounded rectangle instead of rectangle. So I can say rounded rectangle instead. It takes a corner radius as one of the property, as one of the initializer property, and I can say it's a size 10, and let's go ahead and build it. There's something that we have done wrong here, and I want to find out. So corner radius it is, not size. Yeah, that one. And let's go ahead and tell it to try again. And your project is going to be built, and as you can see, you have a rounded rectangle created for you. Okay, there is one more shape that we're going to try. Let's try circle. And circle basically just creates a circle, and you can have, like, all these other modifiers apply to it as well. So just have circle like that, and you have a circle created for you. You also have ellipses, so ellipse actually, and there we go. You can create an ellipse. So these are some of the shapes, and you can create these shapes very, very easily using SwiftUI. So I would actually, we would explore more of these shapes when we are creating our UI, but I just want to introduce you to some of these basic constructs. So when we actually create, we don't have to spend time explaining their parameters and stuff like that. Okay. In upcoming videos, we are also going to be talking about individual things, like we're going to talk about text and talk about as many properties as we can into the text, then images, button, date picker, spacer, list, geometry list, and whatnot. Okay, but I have one more quick intro video to create, and that one is going to be for colors. So that's going to be the next video, and after that we're going to start on deep diving between these different templates. Okay, so stay tuned for that, and thanks again for watching. I will see you guys in the next video.